Hey everybody, Ryan Tommy here, back with another match. I am on close side, and here we go. I lead off with Aerodactyl, he leads off with Scavalier. I just want to get my rocks up because I do see Charizard over there, and I know that it helps with Charizard tremendously because without rocks I think he'd just wreck house. So I do sub on the switch. He does bring in the Lantern, so therefore I will go for an Energy Ball. No, it's super effective, but I know he has water moves, so he does take me out. So then I do end up going into my Tentacle to take the Scald, or the Discharge rather. He does get the Parahax, and he brings the Escavalier back in. So I knew the switch was coming, so I figured get up Toxic Spikes, and I end up knocking off his Choice Band. And the fact that Tentacle did take a Choice Banded Stab Iron Head, even though it was resisted, I was still pretty impressed that I could take that hit. So I do sub on the switch again, bring in Lampent, end up going for a Shadow Ball just to see what it would do, and then he ends up taking out the sub, and I have to switch back out. Or actually, he ends up switching out, and I end up just going for an Energy Ball. And I do outspeed the Crustle, so I just go off for a Fire Blast and take him out. Now, he does bring in the Kabutops, which does carry the Lumberry, so he takes away the poison, which really isn't too great for me. He Swords Dances on the switch and then goes for an Aqua Jet to take me out. Now I bring in my own counter, my own Kabutops, do get the weak armor boost, and just go for a Stone Edge. Gotta get some damage off. But and I do hit, don't miss, thankfully. So I do endure the new Aqua Jet. And now I do outspeed. So now I go for my own Aqua Jet to take him out. And he brings in a Scavalier. So I go for a Stone Edge. And thank God I take that thing out because it could be a very big problem. And I figure I should keep him alive just in case. He brings in the Magneton and goes for a Charge Beam and then gets the +1 boost. Outspeeds me, so he takes me out. So I do bring in my Archeops, go for an Earthquake, 4 times super effective. Sturdy's broken. He brings in Charizard, and I just go for Rock Slide because I do outspeed. And then he just forfeits, and that's the game. Hope you enjoyed. Hey guys, Ryan Tommy back with another RU battle. I'm versing Square Chesk. This is actually a really good battle, real close battle, and I hope you enjoy this one. So as you can see, I lead off with Aerodactyl, and he leads off with his Rhydon. I'm going to start off, I want to get my rocks up, and he Dragon Tails, which kind of took me by surprise. I do want to get my Archeops out, so I just bring my Aerodactyl back in. He goes for a Stone Edge, takes me out, that's alright. I knock off his Eviolite, and he just takes me out. It was a sacrifice, but it was well worth it in the end. I bring my Lampent and I Energy Ball, and I'm pretty sure that this Clefable can't touch me, at all. So he goes for Toxic, a sub on it, and I seem to be in pretty good shape. He goes for Flareon, predicting the Fire move, which I go for. He gets the Flash Fire boost, and so I just go for Shadow Balls, and he ends up just roaring me out. And this Flareon that he's running is actually a Wish Protect Flareon with Roar. And I actually never seen it before. It worked alright for him, And then he goes into Tangrowth, and I outspeed, so he definitely wanted to get out of there. So he brings the Flareon back in, and I end up just going for a Shadow Ball because I don't want him to roar me out after I sub. And he ends up just going for the Wish and the Protect. So I just Shadow Ball because I don't want to sub on him because I don't want to take down 25% of my health for basically no reason. So he just Wishes again, and I just gonna keep spamming Shadow Balls until he roars me out. Now Archeops comes in off the roar, and he does go for a Protect, I guess, just to see what I'm gonna do, see what kind of set I'm running. And he ends up staying in on the Rock Slide, and I take him out. Now he goes into Slowking, and I figure I should just go into my Rampardos. And he actually goes for a Trick Room, so he's a Nasty Plot Trick Room set. I do go for a Rock Slide. Does good damage. The only thing is now he outspeeds me because Slow King is it's fucking slow. And I do bring in Pete. He goes for a Surf. I live on the Sash. Miss the Stone Edge. But the good thing is I am burning turns of Trick Room, which is exactly what I need to do. So now Trick Room's out. I do bring in Lampet, and I just go for an Energy Ball. This way that I had good coverage on it, and he brings Slow King back in, and I end up going for a sub on the switch. Now he does switch back out to Clefable, predicting the Shadow Ball, which he's immune to, but the Clefable in reality really can't touch me at all. I can take away close about 40%, and I see he has Soft Boil, so I'm thinking, wow, it's going to be really stally. He's just going to try and stall all my PP for Fire Blast so I can't take out the Tangrowth, and then I'll really be in trouble and I'll have a sub for no reason. So I guess he really didn't want to do any stalling, or because he doesn't go for Softball at all, so he's just waiting for me to kill his Clefable. So I just keep, spamming Energy Ball until he's around like about 30% of health so I can take him down with a Fire Blast. In the game, I'm thinking, after this Energy Ball, I'm like, please Toxic, don't Soft Boil. And he does go for the Toxic, and then I hit Fire Blast. I was like, don't miss, and thankfully it hits. So I still have my sub up, and he brings the Slow King back in. I use Shadow Ball, I end up getting a crit, and I don't take it out. This thing is extremely bulky. And he does Trick Room, so I'm like, alright, I need to still burn the Trick Room. So I just keep subbing. He'll take out my sub, I go last, and I'll just keep getting a new one. So he realizes this, and on this turn, he'll get a free switch in to his Rhydon, which really, it doesn't really matter because, well, I guess it does matter, because then he does get Regenerator on his Slow King, but I do take it out in one shot with an Energy Ball. But Trick Room is now over, so he brings the Slow King back in, but he's in range where I could take him out with a Shadow Ball. And then he just brings in Drudgeon, and I go for a sub, just to see what he's going to do. He actually carries Sucker Punch. And after that, he just forfeits, which is, it's kind of a shame, because I'd really like to see how this match would have turned out. Because he does resist my Fire Blast. I'm not sure if he resists Ghost or not, and if he did end up taking out my Lampet, he does have the Sucker Punch for Archeops, which could have taken me below 50 and had Defiant go in, and I would have had to go up against the Tangrowth with my attack cut in half. But I do have the Power Herb Sky Attack, where I may have used that on Drudgeon, but it would have been nice if he stayed and see how this match ended up. Hey everybody, Ryan Tommy. Doing another RU battle, and versus a kid named Blowfat, and I'm on the far side again, and I am going to lead with my Aerodactyl as usual, and he ends up leading with his Ferroseed. And I just really want to get my rocks up. I'm not really scared of any hazard he sets up, because I do have my Tentacool, so I actually end up going into my Tentacool and setting up Toxic Spikes. And I do have Liquid Ooze ability, so his Leech Seed actually ends up hurting him. And at this point, I end up going a knockoff for the switch, or to knock off the Eviolite, either or. And I end up knocking off the Expert Belt, which actually lets me live that hit and then Rapid Spin away the seeds and the rocks, which puts me in great position. And ends up just Volt Switching out, which in the end really doesn't help him because it gives me switch advantage, lets me bring in my Rampardos and Fire Punch, and stops him from setting up any entry hazards at all. He ends up bringing Hitmonlee. I think it's a fake out on Burden set, which it turns out to be. Goes for the fake out, and then he just knocks me out with Earthquake, which that's right, because then I could just bring in Kabutops to take the close combat, live with the Sash, and go for Hone Claws. This way I'm all boosted up, and he ends up getting the defense drops from close combat. And then I just go for a good old Aqua Jet, and he ends up bringing in the Duskineer, and I'm figuring it must have Sneak Shadow, so I'm going to Endure just to check, and he does. So instead of just hitting it with an Aqua Jet, I'd rather just switch out and see what I could do. He ends up Will-O-Wisping, and he misses, which is unfortunate for him, and works out great for me. And he ends up missing again, which sucks even worse for him. And I just continue to Rock Slide. He goes. I feel like even if he did hit it, it really wouldn't have mattered. But he ends up missing 3 Will-O-Wisp, which is, that just sucks. I am running max speed on my Aerodactyl, so I will outspeed Garvantula. Then he brings in Cinccino. I end up going for the Aerial Ace. It does damage. He ends up taking me out with a Rock Blast, and then he ends up just forfeiting, and that's the game.